How did you come up with your a topic for your college essay?
You have to give them like one personal statement. So it's an essay that you send to every single college, right? And I wrote like 5 drafts of my personal statement. And they were all about something different. Like one of them was about how I was born on the 4th of July. One of them was about how I don't like sports. They were all about very different things. And I finally settled on one that I thought felt the most like myself and that I could really see myself improving and like I could feel proud of like handing this to an admissions officer and saying, "Hey, this is what I want you to know about."
Hi, I'm a young reporter from Future Voices. Can I interview you?
Yeah, sure.
What is your name and which high school did you graduate from?
My name is Medha Singitam and I graduated from Eastlake High School.
Which college or university are you attending in the fall?
In the fall, I plan to attend Cornell University.
Which major or subject are you planning to study?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but I plan on studying computer science and cognitive science.
Did you think of a college where you're going in when you were 13 years old?
A little bit. My dad, he was very like he went to Stanford when he was younger. So in my head, I always wanted to go to a top school like that. But I didn't think too much about it until I was in high school.
What middle school habits were really good for you to help you succeed when you were in high school?
I think the habits that helped me most in middle school were probably organization and time management. I think that these are like really soft skills. It's not things like getting really good at math or getting really good at English, but these soft skills like learning when to do your work and why, or what skills are the best for you, or how to put your desk in a manner where you won't have to search for your things every day. Those are really the things that can help you succeed in all your subjects, and that's something you really need to like show colleges you can really become a really productive and positive person no matter what you do.
Is there anything you wanted to change if you had extra time right now in middle school if you wanted to change anything?
I think that I would probably tell myself that it's okay to make mistakes in middle school because I used to be really stressed about my grades in middle school. But really, I think that I should have used that time to learn more about like what works for me and been okay making mistakes. Because sometimes, like, for example, I was really good at math, right? So I didn't really try to advance in math. I just kept trying in math to like get hundreds, and that's kind of where I stopped. But if I had tried to explore more in like mathematics, even if that meant getting worse grades, that would have been better for me overall. So I think middle school is a time where you can almost sacrifice your grades to get better at study habits versus high school, you want to make sure you have really good grades. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's the advice I'd give.
So in college, what are you most excited about experiencing?
Um, I'm really excited for everything in college, like just the opportunity of like being away from my home for the first time. I've heard the food is really good. I'm also really excited for like the different like types of classes that they have. Like in high school, you just have like an English class and a math class and a social studies, and you have a couple of electives, right? But in college, like even your English class, it's a like you have English classes about like comic books in the 17th century, or really weird classes that are very specific. And I'm really excited to take specific classes that are like about one very specific topic, if that makes sense.
What do you think will be your biggest challenge in college since you're so far away from home?
Yeah, I think my biggest challenge will be just the distance from my parents because it's like a connecting flight and then it's a 1 hour drive. So it takes one day to get from here in Seattle all the way to Cornell. And so that means that I'm going to really have to figure out how to survive by myself. You know, like there'll be no one there when I'm sick or when I really just need my mom or I'm having a bad day. Like I'm just going to have to call them. I won't be able to come home and visit that easily, right? So I'm really gonna miss being here in Seattle.
How would you manage your time since your parents aren't
I think in high school, I got really good at learning how to manage my time by myself. My parents have really stopped reminding me about like what to do and what not to do. I don't think my parents even know any of the classes I took in high school. They were very disconnected from that. So I think it'll be similar in college. I've already built those skills up. So I think I'll just continue to improve in my organization, making sure I think for me the hardest part will be making sure my room is clean in college, but I'll have a roommate, of course, who like I wouldn't want her part of the room to be messy. So I think that'll motivate me to keep my room clean, if that makes sense.
Going back to college, I mean, high school, when did you start writing your college, I mean, yeah, college application?
I started writing my college applications like the July and August before I started 12th grade. So like almost exactly a year ago from today.
How did you come up with your a topic for your college essay?
It took a lot of brainstorming. I really like using whiteboards. So I kind of just brainstormed everything about my life and I put it on this giant whiteboard. And I wrote a bunch of essays. Like basically the way it works is for colleges, you have to give them like one personal statement. So it's an essay that you send to every single college, right? And I wrote like 5 drafts of my personal statement. And they were all about something different. Like one of them was about how I was born on the 4th of July. One of them was about how I don't like sports. They were all about very different things. And I finally settled on one that I thought felt the most like myself and that I could really see myself improving and like I could feel proud of like handing this to an admissions officer and saying, "Hey, this is what I want you to know about me." And so it took me a really long time to get it to be perfect, but yeah, I think that's kind of how I drafted it.
What single best piece of evidence, I mean, advice would you give to a 13-year-old who wants to get to a great college?
This is a hard question because there's so much advice that I could give you, but I think the best piece of advice would be to find what you're passionate about and what change you want to make in the world. And even before you go to college, start working towards making that change. Because at the end of the day, like colleges are these big businesses that they profit off of their students making the most change and making the most money, right? So from even before you go to college, if you're trying to make a big impact in the world, colleges are going to pick up on that. They're going to be like, "Oh, look at him. He's already like this amazing person who has contributed so much to his community and to his like world, and because of that, we want him to join our college so that he'll contribute even more." Does that make sense?
Thank you for your time.